midfield roles are the backbone of attack and defense in FM24 Mobile, with 11 different roles to choose from. Some are versatile game changers, while others feel like they're just there to make up the number. For example, a ball-winning midfielder can operate in multiple areas, while others are more limited. Because of this, roles that multitask effectively might rank higher in this list, depending on their usefulness. In this video, I will be breaking it all down into 3 stages: when to use each role, the attributes you need to look for, and the ideal roles for players in each position. So, with no further ado, let's dive into this video. Number 11 on this list is the Trequartista.
Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit.
Dead last again, but here's the thing. The Trequartista can be good if you're willing to build your entire team around it. Just keep in mind it's allergic to hard work. This role is best used to dominate position to unlock teams are playing to defensively, or you're okay playing with 10.5 players. Know what? Scrap that and make it 9, because these goalkeepers in FM were The key attributes for the Trequartista are creativity, technique, and dribbling. So look for players who can pick a pass, handle the ball like it's glued to their feet, and create something out of nothing. And if all else fails, just stick them in an advanced playmaker role. It's like a Trequartista, but without the lazy attitude. Next up is the anchor role you all voted as second to last. And honestly, I don't blame you. The anchor is basically the no-nonsense defensive midfielder. It's a pretty boring role, which only focus is to stop things from happening. The anchor works best when you need defensive stability, protecting a lead or locking down the midfield. Personally, I've only had success with it in the 4-1-for-1 formation, but since there are better defensive setups out there, I barely bother. Its key attributes are tackling and positioning. Bonus: you can stick them anywhere defensively, or just have them lurking in the shadows waiting to pounce. Coming in at number 9 is the deep-lying playmaker. The definition of meh. It's a pretty average role that's useful in specific situations, but nothing to write home about. The best use cases for this role are playing against teams with gaps in their attacking midfield, controlling possession, starting counterattacks, or adding stability in midfield. Their key attributes are passing and positioning. If you've got a player who can keep calm under pressure and thread those killer passes, they'll do the job. Just don't expect them to grab the headlines. Next on the list is the central midfielder, which barely scraped by with just 9% of your votes. Honestly, I kind of disagree with you guys on this one, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a manager trying to make sense of this game. The central midfielder is versatile, reliable, and always ready to step up. They're not flashy like a Trequartista or as defensive as an anchor, but they get the job done without complaining. This role shines in balanced systems like the 4-3-3 or 4-4-2. If your roaming playmaker charges forward, the central midfielder stays back to maintain balance. They're great for covering gaps, supporting both attack and defense, and making sure everything doesn't fall apart. Key attributes: stamina, passing, positioning, tackling, and technique. Basically, they need to do everything. You could even retrain them to act as a box-to-box midfielder. Number 7 on this list is the attacking midfielder, and before you grab your pitchforks and storm the comments section, let me explain. The attacking midfielder isn't bad, it's just kinda compared to the rest. Their job is simple: create chances, maybe score a goal if they're feeling fancy, and then act like they carried the team. The best time to use this diva is in the 4-3-1 formation, linking the midfield to the attack, keeping the build-up play ticking, and adding a sprinkle of creativity. But let's be real, it's like having the budget version of an advanced playmaker. Key attributes are passing, technique, and you could add creativity, but it's not mandatory. And if they're not cutting it as I am, just slap them in advanced playmaker role or shadow striker. But you know what else you should slap? That like button. Coming in at number 6 is the defensive midfielder. Now we're really cooking. This role is basically your team bodyguard. They're here to protect your defense and clean up the midfield mess like a janitor who really takes their job seriously. The best use cases for the DM: protecting a lead, adding extra cover for your defense, pressuring opponents, and winning the ball back. This role shines in the 4-1-3 formation, where they sit deep, bark orders, and make life miserable for the opposition. Key attributes are positioning, tackling, and passing. And if you're feeling adventurous, you can even switch them to a ball-winning midfielder. Just don't expect them to win any beauty contests while they're at it. Number 5, the tireless workhorse box-to-box midfielder. The box-to-box midfielder, a true gem in the FM world. Think of them as the donkey of football. They defend 1 minute, attack the next, and cover every blade of grass like a donkey carrying the team. They are perfect for high-intensity or counter-attack systems. They win the ball high, balance defense and attack, and can even shut down roaming playmaker. Key attributes are stamina, if it wasn't obvious, tackling and passing. It's a versatile, hard-working role. Get the right player, and they'll dominate your midfield like it's personal. Next up is the ball-winning midfielder. This role hunts down opponents like they owe it money and then breaks up their play without a second thought. Their job: win the ball. What happens next? Well, that's for someone else to figure out. This role is perfect for those high-intensity, aggressive setups where you want to break some ankles metaphorically, of course. It's ideal for defensive stability, protecting the backline, and nullifying advanced playmakers. They're also great at breaking up passing lines, making life miserable for anyone trying to build a decent attack. Key attributes: aggression, tackling, and positioning. You can even throw them in as a center back. Coming in at number 3 is the Shadow Striker, and let's be honest, this role easily wins the award for the coolest name in FM.
It's a bird! It's a plane!
Shadow Strike. This role is basically the ninja of your team. Quiet, sneaky, and absolutely deadly when it counts. The best use cases: breaking down those frustrating compact defenses and thriving in fast-paced, high-energy systems. Key attributes are finishing and pace, and usually your striker can slide into that role. Coming in at number 2 is the roaming playmaker, and trust me, this one had me thinking for a while, but let's be real. It has to be in the top 2. This role is basically the creative genius of your midfield, just a little bit more creative than the box-to-box midfielder. The best use cases: if the opposition team has a ball-winning midfielder, the roaming playmaker can be the perfect counterbalance. And if you're a fan of possession tactics, this role is your best friend. Key attributes are passing, dribbling, and stamina. You can also play it as a central midfielder. And next up, the goat of all midfield roles. Drum roll, please. It's the advanced playmaker. Every FM player is nodding their head right now because we all know this role is absolutely legendary. Not only can it dominate in the midfield, but it's also got that AM and decent wing potential. Best use cases: breaking down defensive tactics that are too strong for mere mortals to handle, and, of course, being the central focus of your team. Key attributes are passing, technique, decision-making, and creativity. Basically, if your players got these stats, they're probably already thinking 10 steps ahead of everyone else on the pitch. And that will be it for today's video. Remember to like, subscribe, and also check out my Discord for some FM football nonsense. And I'll catch you in the next FM video.
It's that